So I was able to watch Sisu. A lot of people describe this movie as John Wick, but fighting Nazis. So, was it a good movie or was it a dumb movie? Let's start the review. Let's start off with everything I liked about Sisu. And for starters, now the action here, obviously, yeah, it's like way over the top. You will have to turn your mind off for some of it, but the action and gore here is like really fun. Like the action and gore is the best part of this movie. We get to see this carnage-filled candy kind of gore fest in here. And yeah, it's just over the top. Sometimes it can be gross, but then yeah, it's completely over the top gore. And it's like the violence is the best part of this movie. It's like over the top everything, and it can be really fun. And then I also do like how like each scene is separated by chapters. Like chapter 1 said the gold, something like that. Then chapter 2 said the Nazis. And then every time those title cards pop up, it kind of has like this old-fashioned feel to the title card, which I really did like that because it made it feel more of like 1944, like the setting this movie took place in. And I just like that little ad they added in here. And again, people did describe this movie as John Wick, but fighting Nazis. And this movie kind of tackles Sisu's backstory the same way they did for John Wick. Like, remember in John Wick, when they were like telling John Wick's backstory, and they were all like, John Wick is not the boogeyman. He's the guy you said they killed the boogeyman. Like that scene in John Wick. They basically do that in Sisu as well, which I really did like that connection. It's just, yeah. But that also leads us to what I didn't like about the movie, and Sisu is at parts, it feels like a Walmart version of John Wick, but the way to make you connect to the Sisu's character made it feel like a movie that would have been on Netflix. Like, this feels like Extraction, kind of. I never seen it, but how people describe it as. You're not connected to Chris Hemsworth's character. And that's what this feels like. I was never fully connected to Sisu as a character. I was just more focused on all the action happening in here. And the story is also this small scale. It's not that big old grand story, which can be a pro, but by the end of the movie, I totally forgot that this story was even in the movie in the first place. I completely forgot about it. And then once it all wraps up at the end, I was like, oh yeah, that was the story throughout this entire movie. And then throughout this entire movie, we're just fighting Nazis because they stopped you in the beginning. So Sisu spends the whole movie fighting Nazis, but we never really get to know, well, we know some of his backstory, but we never get to know him fully. Which is why this movie needs to be longer, so we actually know more of his backstory. Like, it needed to start off with, like, a big old prologue, and then, so then we're connected more to Sisu as a character, because this movie is like action. That's all it is. Like, if you want just an action-filled movie, if you don't care about the story at all, then you will probably enjoy this movie. I just did not enjoy it at all. It's just too many action without a break in between. We can't stop for a story or tell a backstory about Sisu as a character. And I just didn't really enjoy this movie at all. Because a lot of people did really enjoy this movie and really liked it. For me, I thought that Sisu was just, it exists, in my opinion. I was not expecting for me not to like this movie as much as I did. It's just, I found parts to be boring, and I wasn't really connected to Sisu as a character, so why would I root for this character? But overall, Sisu, okay. I wouldn't really say it's okay. It's kind of like below meh. It's not that good in my opinion. You never really connect to Sisu as a character. It can be boring. If you just like action, don't care about the story, watch this movie. You will really like it. But for me, I will have to give this movie, sadly, I will have to give it a 5.5 out of 10, which then makes me not recommend this movie. I did not like this movie. Disappointing. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Follow my letterbox called The Cold Man Movie. Like and subscribe. See you guys for tomorrow for Secret Invasions and Barbie.